The galaxy had seen wars before. Big wars. Long wars. But this time, fear was different. Entire star systems were going dark. Not slowly. Not with warning. Just silence. Ships entered battle zones and never returned. Planets stopped sending signals overnight. Even ancient species, known for surviving thousands of wars, were running. At the center of the galaxy, leaders watched a hologram filled with red marks. Each red mark meant a lost world. No one spoke. They all knew the name of the enemy. The Varnak Dominion. A species that did not negotiate, did not retreat, did not stop. Every fleet sent against them was destroyed. Every strategy failed. Now the enemy was moving closer to the core worlds. Closer to everything that mattered. One commander finally broke the silence. "We are out of options." Another voice replied, shaking. "There is one last name." The room reacted at once. "No. They are unstable. They fight without limits." The commander repeated the name slowly. Humans. The word felt dangerous. Humans were young. Their technology was not the best. Their history was full of wars, against each other. But humans had one thing the galaxy feared. When humans were pushed into a corner, they did not ask for mercy. They became something else. And now, with the galaxy burning, that was exactly what scared everyone the most. The Galactic Union Command Hall was silent. Hundreds of alien leaders stood around a massive floating map of space. Bright systems blinked red, one by one, as the enemy advanced. The Varnak Dominion was winning. Union fleets were faster. Union weapons were stronger. Yet none of it mattered. The Varnak fought without fear. They sacrificed ships just to break defenses. They attacked civilians to crush morale. Every rule of war was ignored. A senior commander stepped forward. "We cannot hold the outer line." No one argued. Another leader spoke quietly. "Our inner defenses will fall within weeks." Still, no one spoke the truth. Until a young strategist raised his voice. "There is one force we have not used." The room turned toward him. "Young one," an elder said, "choose your words carefully." The strategist swallowed. "Humans." The reaction was instant. Some leaders hissed in anger. Others stepped back. "They are dangerous. They escalate conflict. They do not follow council law." The strategist nodded. "Yes, but they survive." The room went silent again. Everyone knew the stories. Humans fighting wars on poisoned worlds. Humans surviving plagues that wiped out entire species. Humans turning defeat into victory through sheer refusal to quit. The senior commander looked back at the burning galaxy map. "If we call them," he said slowly, "we cannot control how this ends." Another replied, "If we do not call them, there will be no end at all." The decision was made. A distress signal was prepared. Not a demand. Not an order. A request. The message was simple. To the leaders of Earth. The Galactic Union requests immediate military assistance. We are facing extinction. The signal was sent. On Earth, the message arrived without warning. In a quiet command room, human officers watched the alien transmission replay. No cheering. No fear. Just silence. A general stood with arms crossed. "So," he said, "they finally ran out of choices." An officer asked, "Do we respond?" The general nodded. "Yes." Screens lit up across the room. Fleet lists. Supply routes. Old war doctrines. Humans did not choose their newest ships. They chose ships built for close combat. Ships with heavy armor. Ships designed to keep fighting when damaged. A captain spoke. "Rules of engagement?" The general paused. Then answered. "Protect civilians. End the threat." No speeches. No dramatic words. Just action. Days later, alien forces waited near the battlefield. They expected bright ships. Loud arrivals. Instead, space grew quiet. Then, space bent. Dark human ships appeared. No markings. No signals. They moved slowly, calmly. An alien commander frowned. Are these the humans? Before anyone answered, a Varnak battleship vanished from sensors. No explosion. Just gone. Another followed. Then another. Fear spread through both sides. The humans did not charge. They advanced like predators. Cold. Focused. The alien commander whispered, "We did not call warriors. We called survivors." And somewhere in the dark, the Varnak Dominion realized too late. They had become the hunted. The battlefield changed the moment humans arrived. At first, no one noticed. The human ships did not rush forward. They did not form large formations. They did not send threats or warnings. They simply moved. Slowly. Carefully. Alien commanders watched in confusion. "Why are they spreading out?" one asked. Another replied, "They are scanning everything." Humans were not looking only at the enemy. They were watching space itself. Debris. Radiation. Silent ships drifting without power. They were reading the battlefield like a story already written. The Varnak Dominion did not wait. Their warships surged forward in massive numbers. Weapons lit up the darkness. Energy beams cut through space. Alien allies pulled back in panic. But the human ships did not retreat. They adjusted. Small course changes. Short bursts of fire. Perfect timing. A human destroyer took a direct hit. Its shields failed. Alien observers gasped. But the ship kept moving. Burning. Damage. Still advancing. "That ship should be dead," an alien officer whispered. But humans had learned something long ago. A ship did not need to be perfect. It just needed to work long enough. The damaged destroyer moved closer to the Varnak line. Then it detonated. Not randomly. Precisely. The explosion ripped through 3 Varnak ships at once. Alien commanders stared in shock. "They used it as a weapon," one said. "Yes," another replied softly. "And they planned it." As the battle continued, confusion spread among the alien fleets. Human attacks did not follow patterns. They did not protect every ship. They did not retreat when damaged. They sacrificed pieces to break the enemy's shape. The Varnak were powerful, but rigid. Their formations were strong, but predictable. Humans broke those formations. They attacked supply ships first, then command vessels, then communication nodes. One by one, the Varnak fleet began to lose coordination. A Varnak war leader roared in anger. "Why do they not fight honorably?" An advisor answered carefully. "They are not here to prove strength." The war leader hissed. "Then why are they here?" "To end us." Behind the lines, alien commanders finally understood something. Humans were not fearless. They were careful. Every move had purpose. Every loss had meaning. A senior alien commander watched a human cruiser limp away from battle. Half its hull was gone. Fires burned inside. Yet it survived. "Why do they endure such damage?" he asked. Another answered, "Because they expect it." Humans had grown on a world full of disasters. Storms, earthquakes, wars. Survival was not special to them. It was normal. The Varnak launched a counterattack. Dozens of ships jumped in behind human lines. Alien allies panicked. "They are flanking the humans." But humans reacted instantly. Small human craft detached from larger ships. They did not chase the Varnak. They blocked them, cutting escape routes, trapping them. The Varnak ships fired wildly. Too late. Human boarding pods slammed into enemy hulls. Alien commanders froze. "Are they boarding?" "Yes." Humans fought best up close. Inside ships. In narrow hulls. Where size and numbers meant less. The Varnak screams filled the channels. Then a silence. One alien officer turned away from the screen. "This is brutal." Another replied quietly, "This is human." As hours passed, the battle slowed. Not because humans were tired, but because the Varnak were breaking. Their formations collapsed. Their retreat paths vanished. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries. They thought humans were violent, unstable, primitive. They were wrong. Humans were patient. Humans adapted. Humans learned from every mistake. And when called for help, they brought the full weight of their survival history. A message spread through the alien command network. The humans are not monsters. Another message followed moments later. They are worse. On a human command ship, the general watched the battlefield. No celebration. No smiles. Only focus. An officer approached. Enemy resistance is collapsing. The general nodded. Good. Should we pursue? The general paused, then said, Not yet. He looked at the stars ahead. They need to understand something first. The officer waited. We were not called to fight, the general continued. We were called because everyone else failed. The human fleet advanced again. Slow. Steady. Like an ending that could no longer be avoided. The Varnak Dominion did not understand fear. Not like this. They were born for war. Their history was written in conquest. Other species broke when faced with them. But humans were different. For the first time, Varnak commanders felt something new. Uncertainty. Human ships did not chase fleeing enemies. They did not celebrate small wins. They pressed forward with calm purpose. Like hunters. A Varnak scout ship slipped through the chaos and jumped ahead of the battle. Its mission was simple. Find the human command ship. Kill it. The scout moved silently through the debris field. Broken ships. Frozen bodies. Wreckage drifting without sound. Then it saw it. A large human vessel. Scarred. Burned. Still active. The scout commander ordered an attack. Weapons fired. The human ship took the hit. It did not explode. It did not retreat. It turned. Slowly. The scout crew hesitated. Something felt wrong. The human ship launched small craft. Not fighters. Pods. They slammed into the scout ship's hull. Alarms screamed. Repel boarders, the commander shouted. But it was too late. Inside the scout ship, the lights died. Emergency power flickered on. Then the sounds began. Heavy footsteps. Metal cutting. Controlled breathing. The Varnak soldiers raised their weapons. They waited. The door burst open. Humans entered. They did not scream. They did not rush. They moved in pairs. Covering angles. Advancing step by step. Shots echoed. Short. Precise. Within minutes, the scout ship went silent. The human flag appeared on its systems. The first true contact was over. Back in the main battle, the Varnak commanders received the report. Boarded. Captured. Crew eliminated. Impossible. They fight like machines, one commander said. No, another replied slowly. Machines rush. Machines follow code. What do humans follow? The answer came too quickly. Experience. The humans used the captured scout ship. They did not destroy it. They studied it. They learned Varnak movement patterns. Weapon limits. Command signals. Within hours, human tactics changed. Every Varnak move was predicted. Every ambush failed. Fear spread through the Dominion. Warriors hesitated before attacking. Commanders questioned orders. Fear was a weakness the Varnak had never trained for. An alien Union commander watched the humans with growing unease. They are inside the enemy's mind, he said. Another nodded. They learned too fast. Human ships now moved with confidence. They cut through enemy lines with ease. But still, they did not rush the final blow. They waited. The Varnak launched a massive assault. All remaining ships charged together. A final wave. Alien allies panicked. This is it, someone cried. But the humans stayed calm. Human ships spread out again, drawing the Varnak inward. A trap. When the Varnak entered the zone, space exploded. Hidden mines. Crossfire. Sudden jumps. The Dominion fleet shattered. Ships collided. Formations broke. The Varnak screamed in rage. This is dishonor. A human transmission cut through all channels. Clear. This is survival. The words spread across the battlefield. Every species heard them. The battle slowed again. Not because humans were losing, but because fear had fully set in. Varnak ships began retreating without orders. Others shut down weapons. They had never seen an enemy like this. An enemy that did not enjoy the fight. An enemy that treated war like work. On the human command ship, an officer approached the general. Enemy morale is collapsing. The general nodded. Good. They are afraid. The general looked at the stars. They should be. The officer hesitated. Will they surrender? The general replied. Some will. And the rest? The general's voice was flat. They will learn. As the human fleet advanced, a message spread through the galaxy. Humans had boarded Varnak ships. Humans had broken their tactics. Humans had turned fear against them. The galaxy began to understand. Humans were not monsters. Monsters lost control. Humans never did. And that was what made them terrifying. The battle did not end. It changed. Until now, humans had fought with control. They reacted. They adapted. Now they decided to finish. The Varnak Dominion still had numbers. They still had hidden fleets. They still believed fear could be crushed. They were wrong. Human commanders reviewed the data in silence. Losses were acceptable. Civilian zones were mapped. Enemy command centers were marked. The plan was simple. Remove the brain. Human ships moved deeper into enemy space. Alien allies watched in silence. They are crossing the red line, one commander whispered. Another replied. Humans do not see lines. They see limits. The first target was a Varnak control station. Massive. Heavily guarded. Protected by dozens of warships. Human ships did not attack directly. They waited. Days passed. Then supply ships began to disappear. Fuel convoys vanished. Repair docks went dark. The station was still alive. But it was starving. A Varnak commander shouted in rage. Fight them now. His advisors hesitated. Our ships lack fuel. The commander roared. Then die fighting. The Varnak fleet charged. Humans were ready. They hit engines first. Then sensors. Then weapons. Disabled ships drifted helplessly. Human boarding teams moved in. System by system, the station fell. Not in flames. In silence. When the final control room was taken, a human officer sent one message. Target neutralized. Fear spread faster than fire. Varnak commanders began destroying their own data. Some tried to flee. Humans blocked escape routes. One alien ally asked, why not destroy everything? A human officer answered, fear spreads better than ash. The humans changed tactics again. They used darkness. They cut power to entire sectors. They jammed communication lines. They sent false signals. Varnak ships fired at shadows. Humans struck from behind. Slow. Precise. Merciless. The galaxy watched in shock. This was not chaos. This was control taken to its limit. A Varnak war leader broadcast a message. You are monsters. The human response came minutes later. Short. We are the end. The message echoed across space. Alien allies felt uneasy. These methods are cruel, one said. Another replied. So was extinction. The Varnak tried one last move. They released a weapon banned by every galactic law. A planet killer. They aimed it at a Union world. Human sensors detected it instantly. The general gave one order. Intercept. Human ships jumped ahead of the weapon. They did not hesitate. They rammed it. Sacrificed themselves. The weapon exploded harmlessly in deep space. The Union world survived. Silence followed. The Varnak commanders finally understood. Humans would do anything to end the threat. Anything. A final transmission came from the Varnak High Command. We request ceasefire. The message reached the human fleet. The general read it. He did not reply at once. The enemy had crossed too many lines. Human ships continued advancing. Not fast. Not slow. Inevitable. The war had turned dark, and there was no turning back. The word spread fast. Across broken fleets. Across frightened worlds. One name followed the human advance. Monsters. The Varnak Dominion used it first. They broadcast it on every open channel. Humans are monsters, their leaders cried. They destroy without mercy. They fight without honor. Some species believed it. Others stayed silent, because they were watching. On a ruined Varnak outpost, survivors gathered in the dark. Power was gone. Food was low. A Varnak soldier whispered, "They are coming." Fear filled the room. No one argued. Human ships appeared in orbit. No attack. No bombardment. Just waiting. Hours passed. Then a message arrived. Clear. Simple. Lay down weapons. Open the gates. You will live. The Varnak commander laughed bitterly. They called themselves merciful, but his hands shook. He knew the truth. If humans wanted the outpost destroyed, it would already be gone. The gates opened. Human soldiers entered. Weapons ready. Faces hidden. They moved fast but careful. They separated fighters from civilians. Wounded Varnak were treated. Food was given. The soldiers watched in confusion. "These are monsters," one whispered. Elsewhere, not all Varnak surrendered. Some chose to fight. They hid among asteroid fields. They used traps. They targeted civilians. The humans responded differently. They hunted. Patiently. They cut supply lines. They jammed signals. They waited until resistance collapsed. No speeches. No rage. Just endings. The galaxy argued. Some leaders demanded humans stop. "They go too far," one said. Another answered, "Too far from what?" "From extinction." A third voice added, "We asked for help. This is what help looks like." A Union observer joined a human command ship. He watched recordings of human operations. No laughter. No pleasure. Just focus. He asked a human officer, "Why do you keep fighting this way?" The officer answered, "Because stopping halfway costs more lives." The Varnak High Council met in secret. Their empire was breaking. Worlds surrendered. Fleets vanished. One elder spoke with hatred. "They are monsters." Another replied softly, "No. Monsters destroy for joy." "What are humans then?" The room stayed quiet. Then someone said, "Survivors." A final Varnak stronghold prepared for battle. Civilians were inside. Shields were raised. Human fleets surrounded it. Alien allies begged humans to destroy it quickly. The general refused. He sent a message. "You have one chance. Evacuate civilians. Surrender." Hours passed. The shields dropped. Civilians fled. Then the fortress fell. Clean. Controlled. The galaxy watched the end of the Varnak Dominion. Not with firestorms, but with silence. Human ships remained until order returned. They rebuilt trade routes. They guarded refugee worlds. Some aliens feared them more than ever. Others felt safe for the first time. A Union leader spoke publicly. "The humans saved us." Another added, "They frightened us." A human representative answered simply, "We did both." The name monster followed humans for years. But so did another name. The ones who ended the nightmare. The war was almost over. But the fear was not. Across the galaxy, worlds whispered the same question. Who are the humans really? They had ended the Varnak Dominion. They had saved millions. Yet their methods left deep scars. Some saw heroes. Others saw monsters wearing discipline like armor. The truth was quieter. On a Union medical station, wounded of many species were treated. Humans worked beside aliens. No speeches. No pride. Just work. A Union doctor watched a human medic clean blood from her hands. "You fight so hard," the doctor said. "Yet you heal our enemies." The human replied, "War ends. Wounds stay." A council invited human leaders to speak. The chamber was full. Tense. An elder asked, "Why do humans fight without fear of loss?" The human general did not stand tall. He leaned on the table. "Because we know loss," he said. "We grew up with it." He showed images. Flooded cities. Burned forests. Wars on Earth. "We learned early," he continued, "that waiting for mercy kills you." The room stayed silent. Humans did not celebrate victory. They buried their dead. Names were recorded. Faces remembered. A Union observer watched a human memorial. No banners. No songs. Only quiet. "They don't act like conquerors," he whispered. "They never do," another replied. The galaxy studied human history. Endless conflicts. Broken peace treaties. Rebuilt nations. Humans always fought themselves first. They learned the cost. They learned control. They learned when to stop. A surviving Varnak prisoner was questioned. He spoke slowly. "When we called them monsters," he said, "they did not deny it." "Why?" asked the interrogator. "Because," the Varnak replied, "they know what monsters look like." Human fleets began to leave. They did not stay to rule. They repaired what they could. Then they went home. This confused many. "You could control the galaxy," a Union leader said. The human answered, "We don't want it." "Why not?" "Because we know what power does." Fear slowly changed into understanding. Humans were not gentle. They were careful. They did not love war. They prepared for it. They did not seek enemies. They survived them. A Union historian wrote, "Humans are not born warriors. They are shaped by endings. They fight not to win glory, but to make sure the fight never returns." In the shadows of space, old enemies watched. They learned a lesson. Do not push humans into corners. Do not force them to choose. Because when humans fight, they do not stop until the danger is gone. The galaxy took a breath. The storm had passed. But no one forgot. The war ended. The silence that followed was heavier than battle. Wreckage drifted through space. Broken worlds slowly began to heal. The Varnak Dominion was gone. Not defeated. Ended. Across the galaxy, leaders met again. Not to plan war, but to understand what had happened. One question echoed in every chamber. What do we do about humans now? The Galactic Union rewrote its laws. New rules were added. If a world faced extinction, humans would be called early, not last. If humans gave a warning, it would be taken seriously. No one laughed at that rule. Human fleets returned home. No victory parades waited for them. On Earth, cities continued as normal. People went to work. Children went to school. To them, the war was far away. But the soldiers remembered. Years passed. Trade routes reopened. New alliances formed. The galaxy was more careful. Borders were respected. Conflicts ended faster. Because one thought stayed in every mind. What if humans get involved? The small empire tested that fear. They attacked a peaceful world. Ignored warnings. Humans sent one message. Simple. Stop. The empire laughed. They did not laugh for long. Human ships appeared at the edge of their space. Not many. Just enough. The attack stopped immediately. No shots were fired. That was enough. A Union ambassador asked a human leader, "Do you enjoy this power?" The human shook his head. "No. We fear it." "Why?" "Because we know how easy it is to become what we hate." The name monster slowly faded. Another name took its place. The last line. Humans were not first responders. They were the final answer. No one wanted to see that answer again. A child on a distant world asked her teacher, "Why are humans so scary?" The teacher thought carefully. "Because," she said, "they know peace is fragile." In quiet moments, historians wrote the truth. Humans were shaped by a harsh world. They learned pain early. They learned restraint the hard way. When they fight, it is not rage. It is memory. A final report from the Union archives read, "When they called for backup, The galaxy learned who the real monsters were. Not the humans, but the threats that forced them to act. Far from the core worlds, a human ship drifted through stars. Its crew watched the galaxy in silence. One officer asked, "Do you think they'll ever forget?" The captain replied, "They shouldn't." The ship turned toward Earth. Behind it, the galaxy remained quiet, not in fear, but in respect.